Hello there and welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing very well on this day, which is Thursday, and only just a little bit of news that is just coming through, but just wanted to read through it and see what the points were, and just what I can make of it, and obviously just make you guys aware of it as well, just in case you haven't seen it anyway. Hope you're doing well. Please leave any comments in the comments box below. But hey, what we're looking at right now, and it's obviously between thisisanfield.com and also the Mirror, but I wanted to use This Is Anfield as well because it's a bit more credible than the Mirror in the UK anyway. But it looks like a Premier League return is possible in June, and again, it only says possible, doesn't say it is happening, but it is possible after government approve a 5-point framework. So the government has encouraged the Premier League to move towards forming more concrete proposals for a return to action. Now, this obviously comes off the back of UEFA giving all 55 different leagues in the world, I think, or that at least encompass Europe, at least, till the 25th of May to get their back to almost like a back to work sort of proposals of what was going to happen, how can they do it, that make sure that it's safe, on proposals and how they're going to do whatever they're going to do to make it as safe as possible anyway. But it looks like the Premier League have got the government backing was there the other day anyway, like maybe even last week. And, I think that it was going to get backed regardless of what happened. It wasn't going to get backed if it wasn't look like it was taken seriously or anything like that, but it obviously has been taken seriously by the Premier League and what the proposals that they've got together so far are. Another meeting of all the 20 clubs, which seems to be happening every Friday at the moment. It'll take place on Friday, where a timeline will be discussed and presented for football to make its return behind closed doors. Now, we've also got to come to the realisation as well that football might not go back to normal, whatever we consider normal to be. It might not go back to normal until 2021, until we get into the next year. We aren't. I personally am not clued up on how this virus is going to go. Literally, how is it going to go? Is it going to go away completely? When is it going to go? I made with people that I work with at work, we're always saying, look, once we get past June, once we get past July, we'll start getting back to normal. I had said at the time, I said maybe get used to the idea that it might actually be, September, October, November, where, we may get back to some form of normality. But even then, we might not. And I think it actually could go into next year where you could get fans back in the stadium. I know that there's, who is it in Germany? I think, I can't remember his name. Is someone who's wanting to let in 25% of the fans of a stadium's capacity, let the fans in to games, and it's like as long as they stay 2 meters apart on either side, so side to side and front to back. It's insane how desperate we are to have football back and to let people get back involved with football. You just can't risk it. You cannot risk just allowing fans to start coming back into the stadiums, whether it's drip feeding fans back in, letting in a certain percentage or something like that. I don't think that we're going to be able to do that safely and reasonably for a long, long time. I really, truly feel that. So, talks have been ongoing for weeks between the government and the Premier League, where the Prime Minister's office has offered real encouragement that a resumption of the season may be possible in June. Now, always stick with the fact that it says it may be possible. May be possible. It doesn't say that it's going to happen, it will happen, or anything like that. We still don't know what's going to happen. We still don't know whether something could come up, whether there's going to be another a second wave of this virus or anything like that. We don't know what's going to happen. It's changing almost day by day, week by week, month by month at this stage. We've just got to go with what happens and see what happens when it comes around. Now, the 5-point framework is highlighted here. So the framework includes a phased return to training for individual programs at the start of May. Now, I think that some clubs have already got their players in doing some staggered training. I think Arsenal and Tottenham have so far. That is what I've seen online anyway. Full contact squad training, possibly in the last week of May. Games to resume as early as the second week in June. A comprehensive testing program paid for by the Premier League, so I assume that means coronavirus testing. I've heard or read somewhere that they were going to do, say, like 2 tests a week or something like that. I don't know if that's accurate or not. That is just something I remember seeing. And the 5th point is government cooperation on support services at stadiums for matches, including medical and police. It has been bluntly stated, though, that any return is entirely dependent on the coronavirus curve being flattened in the UK and the death rate being reduced significantly. And that is got to be the priority. That has to be the priority, is that the deaths start to come down, like per week or per day, whatever they're going by on like daily death rates or infections and stuff like that. If that starts to come down like by a significant amount and then stays down significantly as well, and maybe even gets to a point where we get, no cases or very, very few cases, then I think that would actually progress the fact that the Premier League could get a restart of some sort. But we just don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if we're going to get another strand. We don't know if we're going to get another, like I said, like another wave of this virus or anything like that. It seems like it's extremely highly contagious, and if you do anything before, the curve has been flattened, so to speak, but if you do anything before that, like if you try and restart football when it looks like, oh, the coronavirus isn't really having much impact anymore, let's just get things reopened, and then all of a sudden you're in amongst the second wave of it, you would then say there will be probably no sport or anything for another year or something like that, something that we don't want to consider. But as I've always maintained, the safety of the public and the people is absolutely paramount above anything else. It really is. That is how it is for me anyway. I think it sounds a little bit positive, but again, as it's always says, it might be possible. They're leaving themselves wiggle room. They don't want to commit and say, look, this is going to happen. We're going to make this happen. They're making sure to avoid those sorts of commitment words. They are staying away from it. They're using might be possible. So it gives you a little bit of hope, but not too much. And that's perfectly reasonable. That's absolutely fine. Now, the last thing that I want to look at is just, apparently, this is this morning, and it literally came out about half an hour ago. Apparently, according to Bild's Christian Falk, which is like the premier football newspaper, I must think, I feel anyway, their newspaper over in Germany anyway, that Timo Werner has apparently has been ruled out of a move to Bayern Munich, as he would instead like to take the step to Liverpool. We've seen this time and time again. This isn't the first time I've seen this sort of headline this summer, never mind this year, but it certainly keeps pointing towards the fact that Liverpool will be the place that Timo Werner wants to ply his trade in football over his next set of future years or whatever. He's 24. He's attracted widespread interest, and by no surprise, he put in great performances against Tottenham in the Champions League as well. He's got 27 goals and 12 assists in 36 games. So, I mean, you look at that straight away, that's 39 goal contributions in 36 games. He is year on year progressing very, very well. Apparently, we are the widely accepted frontrunners to land the German international, who has equally courted the Reds during various interviews. And he has talked about wanting to join Liverpool as well. But we are never going to know what's going to happen in terms of transfer windows and stuff like that until we know when the next transfer window actually is. I would love Timo Werner at our club, and I know Liverpool fans would as well. It actually would give us such a dangerous actual striker as well. And that's no disrespect to Firmino. Everyone knows that. Firmino's been absolutely fantastic for us, but to take that striker role burden off Bobby Firmino would be absolutely fantastic. And to have someone like Timo Werner in the team, I'd absolutely love him. Let me know what your thoughts are on today's video anyway, and the points that have been made about the possible restart of the Premier League, whether that could happen. Do you feel that it could happen? Do you feel that European football will get it back on its feet at some point? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and also let us know what you think of Timo Werner as well. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you once again. Please do have a great day, or as good a day as you can, and I'll catch you later.